Oh, we are definitely getting into some shit right now. What's up, everybody? My name is Don, and today we're gonna pick our brains with Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. Now, the story of this game, if you can even read the motherfucker, because it scrolls really haphazardly, is... Hold on a second. Let me get my narration voice on. Prologue. Step into the shadows of the Hell House. You've arrived back here at Transylvania on business, to destroy forever the curse of the evil Count Dracula. At the end of the first game, Dracula cursed Simon to a slow death upon defeat. His bones also scattered across the country like Dragon Balls because Dracula's skeletal structure can do that apparently. So it's up to Simon to gather the bones back and kill him again. Now this game is rather infamous for being open-ended and just plain old cryptic in some spots. But that was back in 1987 where that was the standard for action-adventure games like this. How does it fare in 2021 with the internet and just with common knowledge of the game? Well, it's still about as aged as a bottle of milk in Florida. Okay, so I will admit, this game is ambitious, but it's way too ambitious for its time. And that's the biggest compliment I can give this game. It's just way too obtuse, and it suffers from a lot of the same issues that the original Metroid and Zelda had. It's just, you need a guide for everything. And quite personally, I'm not one to diss the game, even though I might diss the game anyway. I personally find it a guilty pleasure, but there's just a lot of problems here. First off, you have to grind your ass off if you want to buy anything in this game. The white crystal is 50 hearts, and that's plot important, so you need to get that. But you also want to get the whip upgrade and the holy water, as that's important to your progression in the game too. So this area is the only area I'm going to show me grinding in. Every other area I'm just going to fast forward or just completely cut to when I finish. Secondly, the shops will close at nighttime. Yes, there is a day and night cycle in this game, and I think this is one of the first games to actually do a day and night cycle, if I'm not mistaken. So you'll see this text box, "What a horrible night to have a curse!" And then we'll fall to night. Now don't worry, there is an in-game clock you can access in the menus that will tell you the time. It's military style, but you got me here. Now at 1800, which is 6 o'clock, that will be nightfall. That text box will go up as soon as it hits 1800. And at 0600, that'll be dawn, basically. So at dawn, Simon will say, "Oh man, I'm glad this sun is here to wash away the horrible night," or something like that. At nighttime, villagers will egress back to their homes and lock their doors, as well as zombies filling up the area. Enemies after hours will be stronger, but they will also drop more hearts as a result. And Simon Belmont, with the biggest case of insomnia a man could ever have, just continues to fight zombies at night because he just doesn't have time for that shit. But on a serious note, there are 3 different endings to this game depending on how fast you beat it. You got Ending 1, which you have to beat the game in under 7 endgame days. Then you have Ending 2, which you have to beat the game in over 7 endgame days, but before 14 endgame days. And then you have Ending 3, which is basically over 14 endgame days. Now, I say Ending 1, 2, and 3 because they're all somber. There is no real good outcome to Simon's Quest. It's either Simon dies, or Simon lives and Dracula's resurrected and Simon is then too old to fight Dracula. Yeah, there's no real good outcome to this game at all. I'm telling you, nighttime is way slower on the clock than daytime is. I don't get the reasoning. Maybe it's winter time? I don't know. I didn't think winter time would have an effect on a game like this. I will say that Simon's Quest, even though it has very little to offer in soundtrack, this game has 6 songs, but Simon's Quest has a very good soundtrack, and I think everybody can agree on that. But riveting gameplay, is it not? No, it's not. I will admit that you will lose yourself playing Simon's Quest, but it gets really boring watching somebody play Simon's Quest. So I'm definitely gonna cut out the grinding parts later on in this playthrough, I promise. Oh my god, will day break already? I'm looking for the cure for insomnia. Simon hasn't slept in 7 years. The morning sun has vanquished the horrible night. Dramatic Castlevania pose! Alright, and it's daylight, and oh, Jesus. Okay, I just noticed that the graphics in this game are fucking terrible. They just look really muddy and gross. You'll see that further in the castles, but my god, why does Simon blend so well into the brick texture? And sure, Castlevania 1 and 3 had that very dirty look to those games too, but those games also had very vibrant colors and just very solid colors too. This game opts for a more darker, pastel looking color palette and is not as pleasing on the eyes in my opinion. Castlevania 4 does that darker look better because it's 16-bit, it's got better shading and just... it's very ominous. I'm gonna say right now, Castlevania 4's atmosphere is just very ominous. And we'll be seeing that soon. So after you buy the stuff you need, go to the east and you'll come across your first mansion, which is called Berkeley Mansion. This is the first game in the Castlevania franchise to feature the series' staple song, Bloody Tears. There are 4 themes that are synonymous with the Castlevania series. You got Vampire Killer from the first game, Bloody Tears from this game, Beginning from the third game, and Simon's theme from the 4th game. I kinda wish that Calling from Heaven was a bit more loved, but I digress. Berkeley Mansion. Now you need the white crystal to unearth that platform, but since I'm a badass and I know that platform was going down as I enter the building, I can just jump to it with no problem. This castle, or mansion rather, is pretty straightforward. You have to find a merchant who will sell you an oak steak. This merchant will be in every castle, but god damn it, I keep calling it castle. Mansion. It's a mansion. Mansion. The reason why Simon was glowing like he was having a seizure was because he leveled up. You need a certain amount of experience points in order to gain health. So, side-scrolling RPG for the win? No, I think I like East 3 better. Here's where the holy water can bail you out. There are moments where you'll come across trick floors. If you walk across the trick floor, you'll just fall right through it, like right there. So what you do for the trick floors is you plop down holy water. If it showers on the ground, it's obviously real. If it just falls through, then it's fake. On your first playthrough, you won't be able to tell which is a fake floor or not, so you'll just be aimlessly throwing down holy water everywhere, which can get old, admittedly. At least in our games, you can tell which is a fake floor or not by just looking at the brick and just telling that there's a different texture or coloration. There's also a strange quirk with the game, which I'm not sure if the developers meant for this to happen or not, but it's here in the game anyway. Whenever you enter a mansion, time will freeze. Simon will not say the obligatory text box here, so if you want to grind, this is the place to do it. Go into mansions and you won't have to worry about getting the bad ending. it's safe to say that the sub-weapons in this game act a bit differently than they do in Castlevania 1. Like the Holy Water, for instance. In Castlevania 1 and 3 and 4, and basically every other Castlevania game, it will ignite this little fire onto the ground. In this game, it just breaks on the ground. I don't know why there's no fire, but hey, the developers made it. I didn't. But going back to this game's graphical style, what is this color on the wall? It's not even puke green, it's shit green. It's the color of every NES game that takes place in the jungle. Every bad NES game that takes place in the jungle. I will give this game a pass, but it still looks freaking terrible. Get your ass down those stairs, Simon. Let's talk about Simon's walk cycle for a second. And just how, in every game, he just struts. He doesn't even walk. He just power walks with determination. And you gotta freaking love it. It's so good that Alucard mimics it in Symphony of the Night. So we just got that oak stake. Now we have to go to this orb at the end of the level. And you can't miss the orb with the oak stake. Otherwise, you're gonna have to buy another one. Back so soon? Yes, listen, I kind of broke the oak stake on a skeleton's back. Can I get another one? Sure, but it's gonna be 50 hearts. Fuck me, man. In other words, don't miss, or be prepared to grind if you do miss. Oh, fake floor there. I think that one just leads to a bottomless pit if I'm not mistaken, so you definitely want to be careful with these. So you throw the oak stake at the orb, which will cause an earthquake, or just a still screen if you're watching this on YouTube. You now process Dracula's rib. Process, okay, sure. This game was released in 1987, a time where Japanese games, quite honestly, were just not fond of the English language at all. There were typos abound in those days. Now that you process Dracula's rib, yes, I'm gonna say process too, it's time to get out of this mansion. The mansions in this game are the most milquetoast challenges in any Castlevania game. You have more trouble traveling on the overworld than you will in these mansions. That's how easy they are. Castlevania 2 is quite simply the easiest game in the NES lineup of Castlevania games, but it's still a harder than average adventure game, especially when you take into account all the puzzling aspects of the game. So the difficulty scale is Castlevania 3 is at the top because it's fucking Castlevania 3, Castlevania 1, and then Castlevania 2 is at the bottom. Be careful while you're on stairs in this game. Unlike other Castlevania games where you get hit and you stay on the stairs, in this game, if you get hit and you're on stairs, you go flying off the stairs, which is kind of bogus in my opinion. As realistic as that might be, I wouldn't want to get knocked off the stairs in a video game because it's just the task of climbing the stairs itself is very slow and arduous. So, after completing Berkeley Castle, I keep calling it castle, what's wrong with me? It's a mansion. Go to the right. And oh boy, spiders! You gotta love spiders! Well, honestly, I don't hate spiders, but I hate looking at them. They're just so freakish to look at. And you got, what is perhaps the goriest enemy in the game? These eyeballs that invade your personal space. They're a bit annoying to deal with if they get right on top of you, but they're not that bad. So the next area I'm gonna go to is a town called Veros. V-E-R-O-S. I think the game would have benefited greatly if the town names were a bit more explicitly stated in the game itself. I mean, sure, they do say the town names, but most cases it's in other towns. So you're thinking to yourself, wait, you're talking about this town which is on the other side of the country. Which town am I in right now? To get to Veros, you gotta take the uppermost path. Do not take the stairs down, otherwise you'll go to a completely different part of the map. What a horrible night to be stuck in the woods. I was kinda hoping I would make it to town before nightfall, but oh well. There'll be more hearts for me. Unfortunately for me, I did not beat this game in under 7 days, so I do not get the best ending. Which sucks to be me. Actually, no, it doesn't suck to be me. I'm just playing this game how I play it. Took that whip to the face like a champ. Now, if you're at the edge of the screen and you get knocked back from an attack, you'll go flying back to the previous screen like an idiot. So, be careful. And also be careful because some screens will just have hits at the very beginning of them to kind of psych you out. I don't know if it was a design flaw. Well, no, it was probably a dick move, so enjoy. I'm glad that Symphony of the Night established Metroidvania in the series because this game just doesn't cut it at all. Holy water comes in. Dracula's eyeball reflects the curse, so... Now that lady is not totally senile yet, that is a useful hint for one of the items in the game. There are more items you can buy in this town, but they're rather pointless to the game itself. It's garlic. You drop garlic in the cemetery to make this strange man appear. I won't be doing that in this playthrough, but I do buy the garlic anyway for some reason. I don't eat garlic, by the way. It has special powers. Well, no shirt, shitlock. What laurels do is they'll protect you from damage. It's basically like a Sonic the Hedgehog invincibility. They're gonna be a stage of the game, but later... The NPCs actually have good hints when they're not spouting gibberish. The dead river waits to restore your life, shouting from the church. Oh, that's good to know. I refuse to exchange my crystal for your first town. Now I gotta haul ass back to the first thing. So stay tuned for... and it's not that long. I'll see you then.